So Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales is directed by Joachim Roning and Espen Sandberg. But I just want us to take a moment here. Just take a moment. You can actually do it yourself. Go on Google and look up just the movie. Now underneath the title you should see what the genre of the movie is, and you'll also see like the release date and the length of the movie in like a little window thing on the right side. Now since I dragged on for ages telling you where it is, you probably already got the page up. So the genre says fantasy action. Now there's something missing from this whole thing, and that is try too hard to be a comedy. But this movie kind of takes the ridiculous route. Like for example Fast and Furious 5, it kind of does that. So the movies from 1 to 4, they still had ridiculous moments throughout the movies. When it got to the 5th one, the directors were just like, yeah, no one's taking this movie seriously anymore, so let's just go way over the top and just go full ridiculous. And that's kind of like what this movie did. And this really affects the action scenes because you don't really get any sense of tension or urgency, and it's really annoying. They're just always trying to make a joke, and it's just like, guys, let's try and just tone this down a little bit because it's just getting ridiculous. Granted, there is some funny moments in this movie, but then there are some moments as well that they weren't funny. This movie also introduces 2 new characters, and I gotta say, this character here, they just try to add too much humor with her, especially with this ongoing joke. It's endless throughout the movie almost. Basically the joke is that back in those times, when women were smart, they kind of saw them as witches. And that's basically what it is that she just keeps being called a witch and just all this stuff because she's just incredibly smart. And it just gets really annoying. But there actually is a real witch character in this movie, but the funny thing is, she doesn't really have much of a purpose. She does this little thing in the movie, and you'd expect more from her, and she's just kind of a little side character, and basically all I see her as is so the audience knows as kind of like a comparison what a real witch is and what not a real witch is, and it was kind of pointless. But I have to go back to the non-witch character and this character as well, because both these characters do seem to have a type of purpose in this movie. They're not just there for no reason, and you do learn quite a bit about them. And this character especially, I don't want to give anything away because spoilers, so let's move on. The main villain in this movie is also pretty cool. You do get a bit of backstory about him. The thing I like the most about the main villain is how they had this kind of cool underwater effect, because since he died underwater, it looks really cool. And now probably is mostly like, yeah, we don't care about these characters. How's Jack Sparrow? Well, let me just say, in this movie, he's kind of like a parody of himself. It's really weird to explain. It's not like if you compare him from the first movie to this one, there's a huge difference from there to now. It kind of makes me feel like the directors just took him off his leash completely and like, oh, just do your thing. It doesn't matter. Just make it funny. That's all that matters. And there was more to that in the other movies. It wasn't just a joke. So the final flaw I'm going to say about this movie, it's not a character thing at all. It's the effects. It's green screen. You notice in this movie that there's quite a lot of green screen used, and it gets kind of annoying. It's kind of noticeable at times. And some of the special effects, especially shark and slow-mo. Oh boy. But after all those things, this is still an enjoyable movie. Like, I'd still say, if you're a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, you'll enjoy this still. And I'll definitely say, this movie is better than the 4th one. This was good. Okay, this was not as bad as that. I was really worried it was going to be worse than that one. And I was like, boy, how's it going to get worse from that? But no, it wasn't. It was definitely better than the 4th one. With all things considered, I'd say this is an above average movie, so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I definitely say to check this out if you're a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, or if you like the 4th one, you're gonna love this one. Like, boy, if you thought the 4th one was good, oh, you're in for a treat. Even though it is worth seeing in cinemas if you are a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, it is not worthy of a piece of licorice. Okay, no. Okay, so that's it for the non-spoilers. Let's talk about some spoilers. I actually haven't got many spoilers to say, so I'm just gonna sound a smaller alarm. So just hold on a sec. Can't say I don't warn you. Now, some of you might be thinking that I've actually seen the film, that the Pirates of the Caribbean films have always been ridiculous. The action scenes have always been kind of over the top. But I'm just going to say the 3 things that were much more over the top than the other Pirates of the Caribbean films. Okay, so the first one is obviously the bank scene. Okay, so the thought was going through my head, how in the hell is 6 to 8, or was it 10? I don't know, but it was a lot of horses anyway. So I was thinking, how the heck is that amount of horses meant to drag a safe along? a safe that's like something ton. I was like, how in the world is that going to work? Well, as you kind of see, they don't just drag the safe along, they drag the whole goddamn building. How the hell does that work? But one thing I did like about this scene is it kind of sets up what this film's going to be like. It sets up that this film, it's not taking itself seriously at all anymore because of that. So I did kind of like this scene for the sake of, you know what you're walking into now. You know what you just walked into, and you know what the action scenes are going to be like from this point. And they pretty much do keep consistently like that, which moves me on to the next thing, the guillotine scene. How Jack Sparrow is like spinning around, still tied up to the guillotine, and this thing is getting this close, but then it like swings back, and then, oh my goodness, because it's from like the gravity of the blade. So ridiculous. But I gotta give it, it was funny. It was funny. Same with the bank scene as well. It was just ridiculous funny. And then comes to the last one, which was when Jack Sparrow got knocked back into his ship with the goddamn ship cannon, not the cannonball, because that would be ridiculous. Well, it's kind of ridiculous anyway, but the actual cannon runs into Jack Sparrow and knocks him into the ship. I was like, he'd be dead, right? So talking about the ships, I actually kind of liked how Captain Salazar's ship actually had, it was able to like consume other ships basically. It was basically alive itself. That was a nice little touch. Okay, so the final thing I'm going to say about this movie is the ending. So I actually thought the ending basically wrapped this series together. I thought, you know, that's it. The series is done. You know, Will Turner's back. His curse has been lifted. He's not attached to the Flying Dutchman anymore, and his son's also got his has a wife now. You know, the witch lady. Well, not the witch lady, but the supposed witch lady. Now they're, you know, together and stuff, and yeah, it's all nicely packed together. And then, you know, Jack Sparrow's just back on the sea, doing his thing. So you know, I thought, you know, the series is done, and the way it ended, it really felt like that. And then the after credits. Why? Why do they have to do more? They don't have to do any more. Guys, just stop. You don't need to do any more. You're good. End it on a good note. See, I'm really glad they didn't end on the fourth movie. It's like when I'm going to be seeing the Transformers film now. The fifth one coming out soon. Same feeling for that. Like, it's just why. But yeah, I think that's it for this spoilers review. As I said, it was a pretty short one. I didn't really have too much to say, but I definitely wanted to talk about that last thing, about the ending, and now they're going to make another one, supposedly. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you folks in the next one.